Hey everyone, welcome in this new video tutorial. Aryan here, and today we are going to create this section image with heading and description. We will be using Bricks Builder and AutomaticCSS. AutomaticCSS is not necessary to follow the tutorial, but I highly recommend it. Check the description of my video to check out my setup. So let's check this layout, right? This section design. So if you go on tablet, it's like that, and if you go on mobile, it show it in this way. So let's jump right away on our WordPress website. So let's start by clicking on section, click on container. With container selected, display, grid. Here you can use 1FR if you wish to have two columns. I'm using AutomaticCSS to be faster, so whenever I use AutomaticCSS, you can use, simple not calculation, simple measurement like pixel, em, fr, percentage, whatever. So I'm going to click on 2, and now I'm able to add my block. So with container still selected, click on the plus button for adding new element, and then go on block. Open up the structure here, you will find your new block here, and with the new block selected, we first of all rename it to block left, and then we are also going to add a new element. So click on here and add a heading, and also add a rich text. So select the heading just to copy this, just to have the same look and feel. And then I'm going to copy this, paste it to this one, oops, like that. And I'm also going to style it. So go on style, typography, color, I will go with a gray, neutral medium. And then I'm also going to change the font size. So I'm going to right click this, I will choose maybe text S and add a calculation. So calc, parentheses, multiply 1.3, and you get your desired text here. So with this set it up, I can now add some spacing between the two elements. So you can click the block and then go on content and get on row gap, right click, just choose like XS or S. I will go with S probably. And now we can do the right side of the section, right? So click on the container now, plus button, and search for block. Now we have this new block, and we call it block right. Okay, with block right, we can now add a new element here, and before doing anything else, click again on block right and go on display grid. And again, here I would add two columns. So right click in my case with AutomaticCSS, or use FR or whatever. Now we have two columns here. And now with still block right selected, I'm going to add two elements. Okay, so plus button, and add two images, 1 and 2. Okay, and instead of adding two images, we can just edit the first one if you wish, so that we can duplicate it. It's a little bit faster. So select the first image, you can click here to upload yours. So I have maybe this one, for example. And then if you check the design here, it's rounded corners. Okay, so we can also go on, first of all, I highly suggest to set up this to the desired size, and then this to figure, and aspect ratio, you can keep it like this. And object fit, I usually go with cover. Okay, and aspect ratio, you can basically set up if a square or whatever, like if I want /1, oops, it's a square. Otherwise, you can say like 6/12 to make it wider. This is basically very useful. Actually, let's try to use it just to have the same same aspect ratio of this one. Looks like a 6.8 or maybe a 5.8. I'm not sure. Let's go on 6.8. You need to play around with this, and then go on style. Okay, and with style you should just go on border, select the border here, and you can basically click here to make sure everything gets on all the corners. I'm going to use my radius here. Let me see. Let's say to use maybe M. Okay, so I used M. You don't see anything because you need to go on layout, and then you need to overflow, just make hidden. Okay, and now as you can see it works. This happens when you add it directly to the image. Okay, so make sure you've done that. And then what we need to do is actually duplicating this element by just clicking this, and now we have duplicated the element. Now I want to add some spacing on the top and the bottom to have the same result of this one, right? So to achieve that, go on the first image, and then on padding on the bottom, you just can add some, some spacing. It could be like M, okay? And I just saw something strange. The problem here is basically because we are editing the image. So to avoid this problem, let's see what we should do. So it's best practice to actually have the images inside of a div, like a wrap, okay? So right click and just go on wrap into div, okay, in this way, and we can call it image wrap. And I would do the same thing here, but just duplicate the first one so you can remove this, okay? And with image wrap selected, we can now go on layout and add the padding, okay? I see some padding here already. Maybe I did not remove it from the image. Actually it is. So make sure you are on the image wrap now, and then go on padding bottom and just add your padding, okay? Like this, M. Then duplicate this and click on this, so image wrap, okay? And this time I'm going to remove this and just add it here on the top. Great. So we have the same result of the design, but now I need the padding, or I need the spacing between this. And I'm not using padding this time. I'm using the gap of the grid. So click on the block right, okay, that this is the whole block right, and go on content and on gap. Right click, in my case with AutomaticCSS, or just add your sizing. And as you can see, I would go with M maybe, so that it's the same of the padding top and bottom. And as you can see now, this spacing and this spacing is the same and looks really great because, yeah, everything is great. So actually what we need to do is to change the spacing also between this column, and I will show you in a moment how to do that. So you can close this and go on the container. With the container selected, go on gap and right click, and here I'm going to add like you can also add a XXL. Let's do a XXL to make it more make the spacing bigger. And now if I check the design, it looks very similar. Now we have a big spacing here. I made the spacing a little bit bigger, but you can play around with that. Okay, so also the text, this element is in the middle, is vertically centered. To do that, block left, content tab, and just say align here, align center, main axis. And now it's centered, right? Great. So let me change this image very quickly so that it looks a little bit better. Maybe we can use this one. Okay. Now we need to check the responsiveness of this, right? So if I get here, looks amazing. Everything is resizing correctly, so no issues. Here it's starting to have an issue, so we need to decide if we want it in one column or, you know, if we want to change this in basically one column instead of two. So there is a, you know, great choices. I usually go with one column for all the element, or you can also tell him hide me one image so that this one would show. You can do whatever you want. On mobile, we need to change it. So I usually go with this structure. I basically start on the mobile landscape because here is here is where the problem is starting, right? I always go first here and then on mobile. Usually changing this is also go to solve the mobile version. Anyway, let's click on the container, and with the container selected, I would go here and change it to one column. As you can see now, this happens, right? You have the text, the title and the text here, and you have those two elements here on the bottom. So that's actually great. You solve the problem, and if you go on mobile, looks great too. So basically, everything now is fully responsive. And if you go here, as you can see, the structure is the same as the beginning. So only on the landscape mobile and vertical mobile, we have this structure. Great. So I hope the tutorial, I hope the tutorial was useful, and like button on the video, of course. Comment if you have any questions or, you know, doubts or problems. And subscribe to the channel so that you get notified for new videos. Thanks a lot and have a nice day. Bye.